Another day, another bin. 2 weeks ago, I had a massive harvest from my urban worm bag, and I harvested a complete Indian blue bin. My red wigglers, both types, have been prolific. In the Worm Factory 360s, I've just been able to produce tray after tray from those, and yesterday I did the video on my African night crawlers, and I did get I don't know, maybe 3 gallons of castings this morning that didn't have detectable worms in it. Now it's time to check the European night crawlers. Well, I did check them, and I noticed that the bin is really dry, so it will need water. I also noticed that outside of a few pieces of cardboard bedding, it is ready for harvest. And I'm not gonna add any more food to this. I'm gonna let them finish the few pieces of bedding and go ahead and fully harvest this. But I just wanted to show you. Now the castings are very nice. They always are. I don't think there's a such thing as bad castings unless there's a major user error. Oh, look at this worm. Isn't it beautiful? This is the new green worm. I hear they can be invasive because look, you just keep multiplying. So yeah, the castings look very nice. If I was something, I'd want to grow in this for sure. And the worms themselves, I've got the stumpies and the bigs. So the stumpies, I don't know. I've heard that European night crawlers can be affected by some sort of mutation that keeps them from reaching full length. I haven't personally researched it, but the person who told it to me, I believe, had verified it. So I have some, like this middle guy here, that just isn't getting along. It's just a stumpy worm. And this bin is actually pretty heavily populated, but again, as a 45-gallon container, it's hard to just pick up a pile of worms because at this point there's no real food source in here, so they're not gathered around anything. They're more grazing on the little pieces of unfinished bedding, and they're probably not even doing that successfully because it is so dry. So even though I'm not going to be feeding again, I do need to give them some water so they can continue to do what they do. You'll see there's young ones here and old ones, and here's another green worm. I tell you, they just keep showing up, these green worms. Oh, look, this is a big green worm. So let's see. There's got to be a corner pocket. Oh, look at this beautiful just laid cocoon. I hope you can see it. Every time I say that, I come back later to think, oh no, you didn't. But it is lemon yellow, just laid. You could always tell when they're fresh because they're so bright yellow. They haven't even started to harden yet. So the worms look good. The worms are growing in leaps and bounds, both in size and in number. Again, if I, like any of my bins, if I pick up a handful of castings to the camera, you're going to see adults and babies and cocoons. Now talk about stumpy. Look at this. Obviously from the width of it, this is an adult worm. Now it's possible that this guy got cut in half at some point. European night crawlers are one of the worms, like most, that depending on where they get injured, they will regrow, but they never fully regenerate all of the segments. And I learned that they can actually regrow a head. I think that's bizarre. But that's what I read. So here it looks to be another stumpy. And I don't think, it does not look like this guy here got injured because of the shape of his tail. Just looks like I got a stumpy worm. They're plenty wide. They're not in any way like not eating properly or something. They're just not that long. There's another handful of adults and babies. There's no mites. There's no potworms. I don't see any evidence of anything negative. Looks like this was a cantaloupe at one point because it is just a little tiny thin shell cantaloupe. I always do it. I buy cantaloupes and I don't cut them in time and they get bad. I swear I buy them for the worms. There's some more adults. This is a really nice one. Of course, when you first pick them up, for some reason they're always stiff. And once they start to relax, you get to see like how long they are. Let's see if this guy is going to actually stretch out for us. Come on, you can do it, guy. Oh, he's starting to. And you know, when I got these worms, I was concerned that I didn't have the same manure and I wasn't feeding grit as they were fed from the plant I got them from. But they have stayed very fat despite that. So you see now it's starting to stretch out, relax. See how long it is, but it's still a nice fat worm. So the adults, especially when it's dry, they tend to all kind of go towards one corner or the bottom and kind of hang out. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, since I want to do some sifting from some of these castings. If they're heading to the bottom where the lingering moisture is. Oh, I feel a corner pocket. Hold on. Yeah, see, this is a corner pocket where it's really wet. Or not really wet, but wetter than any of the rest of the bin. Look at how beautiful this is. This euro is, this is a beast right here. This one is a stumpy. You see, and it's fat. It's just a stumpy. I probably should go through and take the stumpies out and put them in their own bin. Actually, I'm going to do that. When I harvest these castings, if I find any stumpies, I'm going to put them in their own bin. And I'm going to let them reproduce in their own bin. Because I want to prove the genetic defect theory that causes that. I mean, there could be, you know, one or two that got injured and regenerated and just didn't regenerate completely, but it makes more sense that they oh, look at this. This is an African nightcrawler. Now this doesn't belong in here. They were right up against one another, so probably when I was sorting worms I tossed one into the wrong bin, which is okay because this is only one, so it's not going to breed. And well, I'm going to plop it right back in its house there. They're so easy to distinguish, especially from the Euros. They don't look anything alike. So, yeah, you can see a lot of worms. A lot of nice big worms. I have the stumpy variety. Hey, maybe I can sell that like dwarf worms and make a lot of money off of them. You know, like dwarf hamsters and dwarf rabbits. Dwarf worms. Here's another stump. I wonder what it is. I really am curious. A green worm. This looks like it has the potential to be a stumpy. Now this worm is very, very fat. I mean, I hope you can see how fat that is, but yet it's not that long. Now it's going to stretch out, and it's going to be longer when it stretches out. Look at all these castings. It's just mountains of finished castings with worms in the corner pockets. Well, maybe he's not so stumpy. Keep your head over this side so you can feel comfortable stretching. Let's see. Well, maybe he's not. Maybe they just are shriveled up for some reason. I don't know. You know, I've had Euros for couple of years now, but as far as maintenance and being fascinated with them and always poking in on them and checking in on them. They're not the most interesting worms, so I haven't noticed as many unique features about them as the other worms. Now see, he stretched out and the stumpiness is gone. So maybe I don't have the stump defect. Maybe I just have stiff worms. I don't know. Maybe they need a chiropractor. I just don't. I don't know. Let's see if there's another wet area where there would be. Ooh, look at the coloring on this one. This must be the sunset variety. Just kidding, but look how beautiful that coloring is. Yeah, see, they're hanging out with the green worms is what's happening. Of course, those sprouts are probably got moisture wherever they sprouted up from. That's probably the wettest spot, so it would make sense that the Euros are gathering at the base. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the light on these guys because they aren't stubborn like the African night crawlers. They will head right down. And before I add any water, I'm going to sift off a bunch of castings and then I'll water them and let the rest feed on the little pieces of carbon that are remaining. I hope you're able to see that, and I hope it is focused. And then I will sift the castings and probably get it pretty well sifted. Now let me get two hands in here so you can just kind of see the volume I'm dealing with. And this is full, I mean, this is finished right through to the bottom. Other than worms and a couple pieces of cardboard, castings is all that's in this bin. And it is a big bin. Look at the worms are going for a ride. I don't have a trommel, so this is their roller coaster. Oh, there's a bunch. Look, they were in the corner where it was damp. Nice young ones. This casting, see if I squeeze it, stays together and comes right apart, so that the corners are still moist. Of course, that's where all these guys are hanging out. All right, well, I just wanted to give you a view of the bin, show you how many more castings that I have to sift. Fun. And introduce you to these invasive green worms. I'm sure some of you have already had your experience with these. They are pretty, but they can really become invasive, as you can see. Fun with the video. All right, folks, well, it's time for me to put the light on these guys and send them heading down and get onward with mixing up potting soil to continue planting my seedlings. And I'm sure many of you are going to be doing the same this weekend. Here in Connecticut, we're still at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks from being able to plant warm crops outside, but certainly never too cold inside to start the seedlings. And it gives me that satisfaction of doing some gardening when it's not warm enough out to actually plant. But I will be planting my snow peas, sugar snap peas, spinach. I've already got the radishes growing. All my cold crops, kale, those are fine to be outside now. We may get another snow, but even the kale can live through the snow. So go ahead and drop any comments or questions in the box below. And please double check that you're still subscribed to my channel, because the YouTube hiccup unsubscribes people without them knowing. It's happened to me, and I've been made aware that others have had it happen to them and been kicked off my channel. And a thumbs up and a share if you would, please. I'm trying to get more viewers, and I hope that my content is interesting enough where I can do that. And in that regard, leave a comment if you want to see me cover something specific. So happy worms and happy castings, everybody, and TGIF, and have an awesome weekend.